Only thing unplugged is Forgotten Seasons.
Welcome to the show, Trevor Ariza, man, an 18-year pro, 1,118 career games played. First off, welcome to the show, but secondly, do you know how many players in NBA history have played over 1,000 games in the class that you're in? If you were to take a guess, the 1,000 and over club.
1,000 games.
Which is ridiculous.
I would say, 50? Maybe?
It's a little bit more.
100?
149. 149.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I was throwing a shot in the dark. I had no clue. So that's
Hey, did you realize you played over 1,000 games?
had no clue. Right. I don't
Every
even
time
be
he does
telling,
it.
bro. I just be playing to play it.
No, 1,000 games is absolutely ridiculous for 150 people in the league of 4,000, 4,500 players. You know what I mean? For only 150 to be playing over 1,000 is ridiculous.
That's crazy. Is there stats on minutes played?
We can find that right now. Why not?
Yep.
That would be a cool one to know. I'm one of those people where I just really just play the game. I won't know my stats unless somebody told me what they were.
Well, I mean, what you're
throughout your whole career?
Throughout fucking high school, college, NBA, I didn't never obviously I know what the stats are, but as far as like keeping them or remembering them, I didn't really care about that. It was more so wins and losses for me.
You know, that's rare, TA, because, you know, in the NBA that I played in and that you came into earlier in your career, you know how people was about them stat sheets.
Hell yeah.
Remember now you can read them out in the open. Remember before when we started playing, you had to have them off to the side. You had to have it off to the side depending on who you was. You weren't supposed to be looking at the stat sheet like that. You know, now kids see them. You know, they got iPads. They reading stat sheets in Philadelphia. Like back in the '90s NBA, like the coaches had them,
and
like the
it.
heavy minutes dudes.
Yeah.
Maybe like a GP. Or you know what I mean, one of like the main superstar.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
If everybody else had that shit, you was deemed as selfish, or you only cared about what you had cracking.
So a minutes check, you played almost 33,000 minutes, and you're number 110 all time in minutes played. So all this to say, I think it's fair to say you've seen some shit.
Oh man, a whole fucking bunch of shit. And the crazy part about all that is like we ain't even counting practice time. People don't even forget about that, like practice time and all that shit. And I like to practice. I like to practice. I like to participate and sharpen my skills every day. So I've seen a lot of shit, basically.
Definitely.
So to start with your entry to the league, so you play 18 years in the league, you know, among the highest played minutes in NBA history, which is crazy. And we were talking before the recording that you came in 2005, which is, I mean, everybody knows what basketball was played like back then. You said it yourself. You couldn't go through the lane without getting an elbow in your ribs. And then you walk out of the league in 2022, which is, it might as well be a different sport. Like, do you notice the league changing like as you're going through, and do you think of like defining? And you were on the team of the Rockets with Mike D'Antoni, who you could say really pushed that trend. Like when you think about just your 18 years and what you kind of witnessed in NBA history, I mean, it's damn near what, more than a fourth of NBA history. You were in the league
half of his life.
For real, more than that was
half of his life.
Yeah, that was a point in time when I was in the league. I was in the league for more than half my life. So,
yeah.
It's 18 years is a long time to play, but I did see the league transition a lot from when I first came in until I completed, and it's crazy because. At first, it was extremely physical, you know what I mean? And the guys wasn't as skilled when I first came in. It was just very tough, very strong, tough-minded. But as time went on, guys started to evolve. Players could shoot from deeper. Players was jumping higher. They was handling the ball, creating, moves on the fly, on the go. It was crazy, like just seeing like the transition from pound, pound, pound. I'm gonna run your ass over and finish this layup to I'm gonna Euro you and finish this layup to bomb. I'm gonna shoot this deep ball from half. And if you don't guard me from half, your ass is gonna get wet. So It's crazy. It's completely different.
When did you first hear the term 3 and D player? Because I think when people think of you, you were like a prototype and probably set the trend for something that people are getting paid 100, 200 million dollars today
Yeah.
for being, which is a 3 and D wing dude, 6'8", 6'9". When did you first hear that trend? Because I don't think, you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that saying really existed when you entered the league, but it definitely
Mm-mm.
does now.
Nah, I didn't. I did not. I don't think that was a thing when. Well, it definitely wasn't a thing when I first started.
Mm-mm.
But I guess shit. I don't even remember when they
I
started
think
using
that
that.
came in when analytics came in, Ti, if I'm not mistaken.
You're
That's
probably
when
right.
they started labeling things, labeling specialists, guy in the dunker spot, he's a dunker spot guy, he's a
He's a
3 and D guy, he's a baseline guy, he's a this, he's a that. I think when the analytics came in the game, that came in with all the labels. TA was a basketball player
That's
when he
it.
was at UCLA. When he came out a little early, when some said he went, a lot of the same similar story when I came out of UCLA early. A lot of people said he shouldn't have. He should have stayed. He should have did this. He should have did that. But TA is always been a basketball player. He's one of Rico Hines' early students, if you will, or Rico used to train them. So, see, when I used to work out with him too, and in my times of working out with Rico, my NBA journey. But TA has always just been a basketball player. He's
Hmm.
always been able to handle the ball. He's always had an amazing feel for the game. He listens like a mofo, which
Hmm.
was crazy for me, which is one thing I knew was going to be his superpower, because everything I was going through with the league, you could tell the TA could listen, and even if it was bullshit, he could keep a straight face and let it go in one ear and out the other,
Right.
and still continue to, do things his way respectfully. So
Yeah.
that's one superpower he's always had. But he's always had a great feel for the game, good size, athletic, no freaky, athletic. You know what I mean? And everything else, you could see that if he spent time on, he would he would add on to his game. So when you
Right.
watch him, you know, okay, if he shoot 1,000 shots, he's gonna be able to shoot in a minute, or whatever he spends time on, he's gonna be able to add to his game. So that's just a little backstory from when I remember from TA as a younger hooper coming out of UCLA before he hit the Knicks.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, that's why I felt like I was always so blessed. I always had like the older guys. Again, I'm attached to so many different generations of people. You know what I mean? And going to UCLA and just having that tradition right there, all the older players who was there prior to me, they all want to see the next generation get better and get better. And like he said, I was a person that listened. You know what I mean? Even though I may not have like my facial expression might not change or it might not seem like sometimes I'm paying attention, but I pay attention to everything and I listen. So the
Hmm.
tools that's needed to be successful in this business, not just the game, but the business part of it, I took heed to, I paid attention to, and I listened to. And just being able to listen, it opens up a whole nother lane for people that they don't even know. One thing
Hmm.
that I did learn though throughout my time and how fast the game changed, you got to be able to adjust as fast. Bruce Lee had this shit where he used to say, be like water.
That's my shit.
you know, I have to
Hmm.
be like water because being like I could do a little bit of everything. The advantage was being able to apply that shit to whatever teams needed at the time. And again, when we talk about stats or history, I'm one of the most traded players in the history of the game. So that means I've been a lot of places. I've also
Hmm.
been able to fit in and rack up minutes on the court, which transitioned into wins for a lot of teams or putting teams together for wins. So being able to listen and being able to do a little bit of everything, it definitely helped me along my journey.
So to steal a quote from you, you said that you look at yourself like a chameleon, a player that can adjust to everything. Every system isn't for every player, so it's just about how to adjust. I think that's the hard and the fun part. Jelani mentioned that you were always a good listener. And I think that's a good starting point because sometimes listening isn't easy. Like when Larry Brown, your second year in the league, tells you to not shoot the basketball. You obviously, like later in your career, became one of the best outside shooters in the league. But what is that like as an entry point to the NBA as a 19-year-old kid when you have a Hall of Fame championship winning coach looking you in the eyes and saying, don't shoot the basketball? How do you stay? I mean, confident is probably the wrong word because I don't know how you could be confident in that situation. But can you walk us through that situation and just kind of what that did to you as your entry point in the league? Hearing that,
Man, I was fire fucking hot. Because you got to think about it this way. Like, he calls me in his office. Now, remind you, I'm playing for the Knicks at the time. We are not fucking good at all, but we got a high payroll. So,
highest in the league.
yeah, he calls me into his office and we're having a conversation. He's asking me like questions about what I think I can do to help the team win or how can I like affect the game in a positive way. And like I'm just listening to him talk or listening to him tell me what to do or whatever. His favorite line was run on every play, block every shot, and get every rebound. That was what his thing was to everybody who played for his team. Any point guard to center, do all those three things and you could help this team win. So he told me, he was like, man, you were raised wrong. You are fucking, you're selfish. You just, you're not doing the things that I need you to do here, son. And it took everything in me at 19 years old to not jump out of my chair and fucking attack this man. Everything is running through my mind right now. I just remember Sprewell went through some shit. He was out the league, and this is like my second year, right, in the NBA. And I'm like, okay, so I can't do that because I don't have enough like legs to stand on. This is a Hall of Fame coach. I just got to sit here and I got to listen to this motherfucker tell me that I'm not shit, basically. So after that meeting, I have a meeting with the GM who was Isaiah at the time, and I don't know, like he's been through so much shit that he feels my frustration and he understands probably what the team is saying and he understands the business better than me at the time. So, you know, we having this conversation. He's letting me know, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to play. Then I have teammates, veteran teammates, who, understood my position because they've been in my position before, but they understand the layout and the law of the land and how the business works. And they just kept telling me, like, be patient, your time is gonna come.
Yeah.
He's telling you these things. One player in particular, Stephon Marbury, was like, bro, listen, this is what I'm gonna need you to do. You want to play? I'm gonna need you to come here and play college style defense. You know what I mean? And like the difference between the NBA and the college. Like college, motherfuckers is on 10 every single time, the whole time. And in the NBA, it's more like, it's kind of like you go with the flow of the
Until
shit.
you challenged.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, I'm going into the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how I can work on college style D. I'm gonna go shoot a couple of these jumpers. We'll get off the plane. We'll get off the plane at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and it's freezing cold. This is when the dress code was in, so I got my suit on and all that. So
Yeah.
I'm hopping in my car, going to the practice facility at 2:30 in the morning with a suit on, putting on my practice gear, shooting for like hours. Then I'll go home and like maybe let's say it's like 4 o'clock. Hop on my video game playing Call of Duty. Then back to practice right after I'm done. So it was like I was putting in the work, but again, like when you were a younger player, Larry Brown really wasn't like a younger player type coach. Um,
LB was LB
it just
LB was
clashed.
LB was tricky. I had an LB run in during the draft when I came out of UCLA. When I got into the shit that I did, where he said some like slick shit to me. about, first of all, he thinks he has like this attached. He used to coach at UCLA, so he thinks he has like this fake affinity to UCLA,
Yeah.
and he's seen like the me's, the U's, the kids who kind of leave early when they should have, and he like feels like it's his duty to like teach us a lesson in through his NBA influence by not kind of giving us our propers or not our just due, but like he gonna make it harder for you than it might should be because he feels like he's teaching you some type of lesson. And for him to practice, for him to tell you that you was raised the wrong way is some ignorant ass shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
The crazy part about all that though, like I got traded to the Lakers and then he was the coach of the Charlotte Bobcats, and we played a preseason game in San Diego, and he came up to me. He was like, "Son, I was wrong about you. I'm apologizing to you." So that shit, it was like, like
I ain't no
that.
bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Later on in life, I had another situation with Larry Brown. Same kind of shit. I was coaching with Memphis. He comes sit next to me on the bus on the way back to the hotel, and he puts his hand on my shoulder. He was like, "You know what? You gonna make a good coach."
Mm,
And I was like, I'm thinking of the other old shit. I'm like, man, you just a old, with all due respect, you just an older white man. I'm going to just honor you and see you for what it is in these two different times. You know what I mean? You just get caught up sometimes. I just boiled it up to, man, you just an older white man. You
man,
know
that
what I
shit
mean?
was so funny.
Yeah.
He's good. That's what.
Yeah.
I got another one too. Like there was one time after a game or whatever. This is right. This is right before the meeting that we have. So this is the day before the meeting, and we're in the elevator. It's myself, it's Coach Brown, it's Dave Hanners, it's Phil Ford in the elevator together. Like
North
in
Carolina.
yeah. That's his tie. Like he was in North Carolina. Those are his coaches, right? So we're on the elevator coming down, going to our cars or whatever. So it's dead silent in the elevator. We just probably lost. I know he wants to see me already. So he tells Dave Hanners. Now remember, it's Coach Brown, Phil Ford, Dave Hanners, and it's me in the elevator. He taps Dave Hanners. First he looks at me, then he taps Dave Hanners. He says, "Tell Trevor I want to see him in my office in the morning." And I'm just looking at him like, yo, like I'm right here. So I look at that, and again, I don't know no better. I'm looking at the assistant coach. He's like, "Trevor," I said, "I heard him."
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm heard him. So I had an attitude with Dave Hanners for like a week at that point. Like, motherfucker, like, why are you feeding into this bullshit? Not
Yeah.
understanding like this is their job and this is what they're supposed to do. So
You've got perspective now, but one reason, like, why didn't that Knicks era work out? Because like you said, when you got, like, they weren't good, but they had a lot of talent. They had the highest payroll in the league. They had Hall of Famers in the front office. Was it the New York City Temptations? Was it too
Yeah,
much
man,
personality?
you got Steph, Allen, Houston, Tim Thomas, McDyess. You know what I mean? They all
McDyess
making
wasn't
bread.
there.
He wasn't there.
No, McDyess,
That was the year
but
before.
Well,
yeah, Allen Houston was hurt that year, so he
He had
played
the
like
microfracture. He was a
he had.
microfracture guy.
Yeah, he played like 4 or 5 games that year, but he was hurt. Like, and even after like the microfracture in the games that he did play,
he wasn't right.
he was killing. Like his jumper was so wet, it was crazy. But it just the pieces just didn't mesh anymore together. You know what I mean? Like if you look at it and you see the way it works, or if you look at it on paper, it looks like, man, this is a playoff team, especially with the guys like you just named, like Tim Thomas, Steph,
Hmm.
and Allen Houston. But again, Allen Houston was hurt. Steph kind of, he had the ball in his hands. He played the way he played. Tim Thomas was there. He still needed the ball in his hands to be effective as well. So it was just like then you had Kurt Thomas again, who was a good like it was similar to like how D West and CP was at a point in time with David West and David West and Chris Paul was like with CP and Big Bruh. So it was I don't know, the pieces just didn't fit right at the time.
That's how it be sometimes in the league.
Yeah,
It can look good on paper, one injury happened, one wrong, and sometimes it be the rotation or it be the glue guy, like that goes down for a couple weeks, and then that starter got to play heavy minutes, then he get hurt. It's funny in the league like that
it
sometimes.
really
It all
is.
looks good on paper until you start that 82 game season, man.
Hmm.
Have you ever wondered if Chet Holmgren might be a descendant of Abraham Lincoln, or if a UFC fighter could beat an alien in a fight? You might have not, and that's okay. But Shea Serrano and Jason Concepcion from Six Trophies podcast have. If you love basketball, and more importantly, if you love fun, you gotta listen to Six Trophies, where Shea and Jason serve up the biggest moments from around the NBA with their brand of unbridled joy, banter, and pop culture side quests. Each week, they hand out 6 pop culture themed trophies for 6 basketball related activities. Stuff like the Denzel Washington and Training Day trophy, given out to the player or team having the best week around the NBA. Or the Lauryn Hill You Might Win Some, but You Just Lost One trophy for the team or player that just can't get it together. Plus, a bunch more trophies for all the good, bad, or just plain head-scratching moments around the NBA. This playoff season, you'll want to make Six Trophies your go-to companion podcast. Follow Six Trophies on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. Listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus. So fast forwarding, you get traded to the Magic in that Steve Francis deal, and then a couple years later, you get traded to the Lakers in the 2008 season. This is a couple months before they get Pau Gasol. I want to start with Phil Jackson. You credited him saying that he helped you control your mind a little bit. He taught you how to think the game more so than just play it. He was teaching you how to play the game more and think outside of the box. What exactly does that mean? And can you recall any examples or like first interactions you had with Phil? We've talked about him in this show. Jelani played for him. Not your average coach, not your average dude. Who knows what's going through his mind? What do you remember from your first interactions with Phil, and how did he transform your mind?
Philip.
Yeah, well, he was just a different style, period. Like, he had, like, more so of that cool, laid back, calm, collected, like, personality. And that, if I mean, I guess I feel like that personality kind of fit my personality too, because I'm a laid back, cool, calm type of guy. So, like, on that vibe, we kind of like meshed. And then just to see how he was with other players and how he could get other players in like heated situations or in like high stressful moments to bring their stress levels down so they can think through situations. That's the genius part of it. You know what I mean? Like, he was able to make 15 different personalities mesh together and work together as one. And I say, like, playing for him makes you think the game. There's a system already in place in the triangle. So everything kind of, it goes off of ball movement and energy or whatnot. But the creativity inside that is what I mean by thinking the game, like being on the same page with your players or your teammates. So, like, knowing if they make a certain turn, being there when they turn around and, oh shit, like, okay, so now we're doing a 3 pass instead of a center opposite cut, just by a
Just
look.
where the two pa- just
Yeah,
by where the 2 pass goes, the
just by
whole
where the
thing.
2 pass go.
Hey, when that shit unlock, when that shit slow down,
Yeah.
at first it take Ti, like when I played in it. It took me a minute for it to get into my cells because everything I did was predicated off moving fast, running, being athletic, and it'll make you, like you said, it'll make you sit down for a minute and think. But once you unlock, you know what I mean, like unlock, and they don't do the best job of teaching you early
Mm-mm.
either.
The
Like the
terminology.
veteran. Yeah, they make you they're heavy on the terminology. You guys really they really just tell you to watch who goes in front of you.
Yep.
That's all the vets tell you. They want to explain it to you. You'll be trying to put them to the side. Like other teams, you could be like, "No, what happened on the pin down and he coming?" Nah, they just be like, "Watch who goes in front of you."
Do exactly what they're doing. And
Yeah.
you, like, after like a week of doing this, like, all right, it's starting to make a little sense. After a
hmm
month of doing it, oh, this is what you mean. After a full season, it's like, oh, it's like clockwork. You know
It is.
exactly what to do. But yeah,
Did he
PJ
give
was
you a
good
book?
at it.
Did he give you a book?
He did give me a book. I can't remember what the name of it was, I read like half of it. I didn't complete it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
but
That's probably more than a lot of people. So I
yeah,
read mine, but yeah, that's probably more than a lot of people who didn't read them books. I
the
bet you.
book was about like a urban inner city kid going into the country, mixing with people that were nothing like him.
My book was Shantaram. It was a book about a white man that comes to a village in India,
Hmm.
mixing with people that were nothing like him, but eventually earns the language and becomes the medicine man. See, it's that bullshit. He has something with the West Coast. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. You know what I mean? There's a barrel of people. You know, the TAs, the Jelani McCoys of the world that be off over here.
Hmm.
To the side, there's the NBA, and then there's a couple. We got a couple other people on ATSP to just be off over here a
Do
little
our whole
bit. You know
thing,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, swimming in their own lane. So you know, that's funny as hell, actually.
But see, look at the type of people that play for him. People that are like-minded, whether they know it or not. You know,
Facts.
and figuring out how to mesh those people together and get them to gel so that you can reach your ultimate goal. That's genius in itself, right there.
He done had some J.R. Writers, some Dennis Rodmans. You know what I mean? He done had some characters, some Michael
Hmm.
Jordan, some Kobe, some Scotties, and had some wild Euros. He's pretty much had everything. And don't forget, he came from the CBA, where they
Right.
was tooting and booting before the games and doing whatever after,
Well, that's
and
so
doing
crazy.
whatever else.
You mentioned he had Mike and he had Kobe too, right? I remember we getting ready to play. I forgot it had to be San Antonio '08 year. And Kobe had, I don't know if he was struggling or something or he struggled the game before, but usually during pregame film, Kobe would be like dribbling the basketball or whatever just to prepare while the film was going on. And one day, PJ, he was fucking with him the whole time. He was like, "Shh, Michael, put the ball down." Right. So he would like just yell shit out, right? And he wanted Bean to like lock in to being the killer that he is because he didn't play as well the game before. So PJ never mixes up names or never like he never ever like did anything out of the ordinary or whatever. But that one particular time he did, and whatever frustration or whatever problem being had at the time, that shit went right away at that point in time, and everything just clicked. Then we ended up beating San Antonio to in the Western Conference Finals to go play Boston in the finals that year. So whatever fuck he did worked.
Cause he was on some maybe because he was on so if Phil Jackson just mistaked me and looked out of the felt Mike over the corner of his shoulder like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be. We might be all right. But Tia, since we talking about Kobe, Tia, you were born. You know, you were in Los Angeles in the early 2000s
Hmm.
when you know during the three-peat where you know that I got a chance to you know sit my ass on the bench in the suit and get a chance to participate in.
Hmm.
But what was that like growing up in Los Angeles during that time? You know what I mean? When at the height of Lakerism, Kobeism, Kobe and Shaq at that for that matter. You know what I mean? What was I going like that? And then later up, you know, teaming up with you know Sir
Man,
Bean Bryant.
it was
That
crazy. Yeah, it was dope because again, being from LA and being in LA while the Lakers is going on, there's nothing better than the Lakers in LA,
hmm
and then the high school I went to, it was a very prestigious high school as far as basketball is concerned. So
Westchester. Shout out
yeah,
Westchester Comments.
yeah,
Yes,
Westchester.
sir.
So while they're winning, we're trying to do the same thing. So it was like, oh, the Lakers are winning, we're winning too. City championships, state championships, year after year after year. So instead of like comparing ourselves to other high schools, we were kind of comparing ourselves to the way that the Lakers were winning, and it helped us because it made us want to be better and strive to be the second best or whatever the other best teams in
hmm
LA was, even though we're not professional, or whatever. It just helped us grow and build and build and build.
See, you're bringing me to a point that I like to tell people, and I try to make, because you know they don't like us on on the West, TA. You
Mm-mm.
know what I mean? They think the East Coast and New York is the mecca of basketball and all this shit. But this is you bringing me to a point. I say this because I always tell people in California we had the Lakers. The Lakers were winning championships.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't concerned with being the old archaic, back east it was the MVP, the scoring champion, this, that, and the third. That was a big deal in East Coast basketball.
Yeah,
West Coast basketball was team oriented and it was predicated on winning championships.
that's
Even
it.
back in 1995 when I graduated high school, I was after the same thing. I wanted championships, plural. League, city, you know what I mean, state if we can get it, you know what I mean. I was a lot like Tia. My whole career was predicated on championships, and the more, of course, we don't have to average 30 if we all winning championships. Everybody gonna eat. Everybody gonna get to school. If we in high school, everybody gonna go to school somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe it's not UCLA. Maybe you get two. Somebody hit a Fullerton.
Yep.
Somebody go to another D. Whatever it is, everybody gonna get to school if we win the championships in the league. Yeah, Ta, because you later. We'll get to it later, but you later cashed in
Yep.
after you win a couple championships,
Yep.
especially in LA. Everybody gonna get paid.
And
The
everybody
the
eats.
and
We all
everybody
eat,
eats.
B.
We all eats. B. Your little the 8 points you made or average on a championship is
Facts.
magnified on the free agent market to somebody just watched you. You went from 8, now you're averaging 12 in the playoffs. They figuring you're gonna be in somewhere between 15 and 20 after they give you this money.
Correct, for real.
Yeah.
Every tournament we went to, we made sure we tried to beat up on all the East Coast teams because, again,
Hmm.
they used to call us soft because we're in the West. And I never really understood that. Like, they would compare, like, because they play outside or they have snow or whatever.
Yeah, they
When
had
they
to
They're in
shovel
compare
their
the
own.
that,
driveway.
They're in their own world. New York City is a snow globe. There's
yeah,
no that's their world. I think the
yeah,
West Coast basketball player is really what the modern NBA player looks like.
yeah, we just do our own thing. We don't really focus on too much of anybody. We rather win and look good winning. I mean, what?
That's because you grow up watching like Bean. You grew up watching Bean win and look good winning. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So go
I
ahead,
want
Dylan.
to.
You guys go
Yeah,
ahead.
I want to show if you could see the screen. You can see the screen now.
Yeah.
So we got two pictures here. One is before the 2008 finals. This is like 2007, 2008 range. And then the second picture is obviously after the 2009 finals, winning it. You get into the league with number 8 Kobe and you guard him. And then obviously you team up with number 24 Kobe. A lot was made of that transition, and some people had like crazy theories to why he did it. The one that's out there that people seem to agree with is that he just kind of wanted a fresh start post Shaq, probably in a different mental space. Is that true? And what to you? What is the main difference between 8 Kobe and the 24 Kobe that you ended up winning a championship with?
Man, well, the A Kobe, I didn't. I feel like
Ocho.
he was a younger. You know, I'm gonna kill every fucking body in my way. I'm gonna win on my terms only. If you're not working like how I'm working, I'm not fucking with you. I'm still climbing. I'm climbing. I'm climbing. I'm climbing. I'm climbing. I felt like that's the mentality of 8. But then when you get to 24, I think I got with him his 12th season, maybe. 24 was more, all right, I'm on this side now. I'm in my 12th year.
Hmm.
I'm starting to see younger guys that I like. I want to take up under my wing and teach a little bit of something. I see the same mentality that I have. I'm still a killer. I'm still gonna like talk shit. I'm still gonna try to beat your ass at everything I do, but I'm gonna bring people along with me. I'm gonna
Need some
share the
help.
wealth. I'm gonna share the wealth a little bit more, and let's see who I can be on this side of my journey.
Trev, as a defender, Now let's talk about you as a defender. You had to guard 8, right? And at some point in time, you had to guard 24.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? Well, let's start with 8. Let's start with how was it? How did you change defensively? You obviously had to a little bit, but what was it like guarding 8 versus 24?
So my first time guarding 8 was again when Larry Brown was my coach. And what he was doing was anytime a player would go to their home state or hometown, he would insert them in the starting lineup. So my first start for Larry Brown is when I played against the Lakers. Now, mind you, this is 8 Kobe Bryant. This is like, don't say nothing. I'm just gonna go out here. I'm gonna fucking like maul you, Kobe Bryant. And that's exactly what happened. He just took it pure advantage of me that game. He didn't. He
In
wasn't playing.
LA?
Yeah, in LA, the Staples Center, he just completely like fucked me over. And
At
like
every level, to the rim, and mid
to the
range,
rim,
3,
mid range, he
everything.
just had it going. It was just like I feel like that was in like the. I think he averaged 35 that year. So yeah,
Was this
everybody.
the revenge tour?
I don't know if this was revenge tour, but nah, he averaged 35 that year. That's all I remember, I believe.
So 2008, you lose the finals, and then people say that that was like among the maybe the toughest loss of Kobe's career. And then going into 2009, you guys obviously have a full season with yourself, with Pow, and then with Kobe too. What do you remember from that 7-game series against the Rockets where they don't have T-Mac? You got Aaron Brooks going crazy. You got Artest and Battier on Kobe. Obviously, you joined the team the next year, but that was the only team to take you to 7. They were already depleted. What do you remember about that 7-game series against the Rockets?
Man, that was a really, really, really good series. I think they stole game one, I believe,
Hmm.
and it was good. But it was no games that was really close. It was every game was like a blowout, you know. And I think for us, them beating us game one, that woke us up. That turned something else on because again, you think, all right, T Mac is not going to be there. That's 27 points that you taking off the table right there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But in the playoffs, you can't even think about anything like that because everybody is geared up, focused on this moment. They're trying to get to the same place you're trying to get to, and they have really good players at that. Um,
Hmm.
I think y'all end up going down too. That
Midway through the
series.
series.
Yeah. So that definitely helped us, you know, feel or have our confidence building higher into going into that playoff series. But again, Ron went crazy. Um, Aaron went crazy. Their
Hmm.
team rallied together behind those two big pieces that was missing. So
Hmm.
you know, we can. It was a good series. It was fun. But I like playing in Houston, so it was fun.
What happened to Andrew Bynum?
Facts.
As far as what?
I mean, he was killing, and then was it just the injury?
Yeah, man, I think it was a number of things that probably happened with Drew.
Hmm.
Again, this league is taxing mentally. It's a lot of things that you would have to deal with that people probably don't know. Plus, having to deal with whatever he was going through in his personal life. Um,
Hmm.
those things could all take you off your course, man, knock you off
Hmm.
your square. So life happened, I would say. And again, we don't know if he's in a space or a state where he's cool with where he is. You know, you never know. But as far as his game is concerned, he was like one of the youngest players drafted in the history of
Hmm.
the game.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And he just blossomed and got better and better and better and better every single year. So, and we're judging off his career and what he did do up until the point where he wasn't healthy enough to play. I thought he got better and better and better every year.
He
I
was
would
a
have to agree
monster.
with you.
He was. for real.
I would have to agree with
7-1.
you.
Yeah, 7-1 post moves.
He developed some semblance of a jump shot out
Some
to like 10,
exactly a
12 feet.
jumper.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Then he
that
learned
little
to put,
hook.
he put peg, could get it on the foot. But yeah, so I mean, I
Hmm.
like AB. Yeah, both hands, left and
Yep.
right, big. He just, and
Hmm.
he came in the game with knee and back issues already. You know what I mean? From growing too fast and all that other shit. And like TA said, man, as a person, you know what I mean, who went through 18 years and I probably went through everything you can imagine in the league, that shit is taxing. And if you
Hmm.
just so happen to be going through something at the same time, I mean,
Yeah.
probably, it's really a dice shoot
Hmm.
for the majority of the league. And I'm just not even saying like a journeyman like me to speak or somebody TA who got traded probably the most times. I'm talking about even your top tier players, man. If that shit, you can mask it with money and minutes and your stats of averaging, but you know what I mean. When you get home and on the inside, you know what I mean. That shit is taxing.
Yeah, and not even to like, not to like. I'm not somebody that likes to talk about people's shit or their business or whatever, and not to get too deep into it. But he was, he was very close with his family, and when he lost his mother, that took a real toll on him, like for real. So, I don't never ever ever ever. That shit is not light. You can't replace your mother. You only get one of them. So, knowing what his mom meant to him and to what his family means to him, I'm sure that had a lot to do with how we don't really hear much about him right now.
See, that shit we know. A
Hmm.
lot of people in the front office, you know what I mean. Maybe
Don't give a
somebody
fuck.
might maybe somebody might put their hand up and say something like that. That shit we know. Like in the locker room, when you having a bad stretch, a bad couple weeks, and you smoking layups and weird shit going on, you falling, shit'll be happening. When you get busy mentally, you'll just start slipping and sliding out that motherfucker for no reason, or having. Am I lying to you?
Nah, bro, you telling the
You'll
truth.
start smoking layups, and fans will be like, "How you missing layups?" Or you can't, make free throws. Or once that shit happen off court, it'll affect your ass on court. You know what I mean?
100%.
Believe it or not. But if you need to, you got to have somebody in the front office that's really on your side. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That can speak to that because only really the players know that, and they're gonna hold you down for as long as they can. But to TA's point, the business become the business at some point. But if you got you a good group of vets and a team that's really walking with you, they're gonna hold you down as long as they can. They're gonna mask it for you. Somebody else gonna step up, you know what I mean? They'll spend extra time with you in the gym, try to
Yep.
put you on some off court game.
Yep.
So that's the other beauty of the league that, we hold dear and close to our chest that a lot of people don't get to hear about, you know what I mean? It's because, players do a lot of the healing for you know what I mean their locker room, their teammates, brothers. These are their brothers, you know what I mean. So they do the majority of the healing that goes on in the locker room.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's the coach, a Popovich, a Phil Jackson, but they don't even really have time because they run in that system
Yep.
and their philosophies. But for the most part, it comes from the locker room.
It definitely comes from the locker room. You want to know what I what the part of the NBA that kind of like it upset me, or the part that they took out that I don't like is how the veterans and the rookies interact. Like they make it everybody is the same now, and that shit is played because like
Hmm.
if you are a rookie and you don't have to go through anything, or you don't have no like understanding on how like a team is ran, or who's the captain or who's not, and everybody is the same, there's no respect there. So if you don't respect your vets, who's gonna go to bat for you when you doing bunk, or you and you make a young boy mistake? If you don't have no respect for him, why would he stick his neck out there for you? You know what I mean? When you on bunk. So if there's a part of the NBA that I would like to see happen again, I would like to see like order be stored in that regard. Like, all right, young boy, you got to come over here and do what I tell you to do, because eventually you'll understand why I'm telling you to do this. There's levels to the things
And,
that we experience.
and feel me on this one, TA. You got new TV money coming in. You got these big super max deals. Yo, add a roster spot. Let that roster spot be that veteran glue guy who might be on his way out that's still serviceable, but
Hmm.
you ain't got to toss him and make him go to Taiwan or overseas somewhere. Let him stay at the crib and mentor some of these kids. You know what I mean? Instead of paying dudes 70, $80 million, just add a roster spot. You
No,
know
I
what I
mean
mean?
that would be a good idea to add a roster
Yeah,
spot, expand the team. But they started to do this shit like maybe like my 12th, 13th year. They started to get rid of the veteran players, right?
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
And the veterans became like 28, 29,
Mm-hmm.
30, 31 instead of 35, 36, 37. That's 10 years of experience right there of real life experience. And remember, like, players are coming into the NBA at 18 years old and they getting $10 million a year if you in that top lottery, right? You don't know what the fuck do you know about anything that has to do with anything.
well, that's what I
Was it
mean.
the
That's how they squeeze the vets. That's how they squeeze the vets because they took away. Remember, you can only carry 12 or
Hmm.
whatever.
was it the G League that impacted that? Because there's like two-way guys now that don't play in the NBA at all and go back and forth with the G League, and those are the guys that might be taking the spots from the 38-year-old Kurt
That's what I
Thomas
mean.
vet.
Well, the front office quantified it as why would I give a 36-year-old veteran, pay him X amount of dollars, you know what I mean? And I need a youthful guy that I might be able to use or yada, yada, yada. Because after you hit 30, depending on where you are, they hit you with all type of shit as to why you can't play.
For real.
Or why they're not gonna give you your your max money and all that
Yeah.
other shit.
After a certain age, they can't. It's a number on the amount of years that they could give you in the CBA.
Mm.
So
See,
So wrapping up here, I want to quickly talk about just your second Rockets tenure because we talked about at the beginning of the stream. This is a crazy transition time. You walk in right before D'Antoni, so you got that Dwight and Harden combination. McHale is there. Then McHale gets fired and D'Antoni comes in. And D'Antoni takes what he did with Steve Nash and seems to like sprinkle it onto James Harden, making him lead the league in assists. D'Antoni said on record that Harden's probably the best offensive player of all time. I think today we talk a lot about the influence of Steph and the influence of LeBron and Kobe. But when you look at the dudes now that are killing the Lukas, the Tatums, they're all doing that step back that might be a travel but isn't called a travel. And the first dude to do that was James Harden. You had a front row seat to D'Antoni coming in, doing whatever he did with Harden, and then Harden exploding and putting up 55, 16, and 18 like it's nothing. What do you remember from that front row seat just to the emergence of Harden and then the transformation of the Rockets offense with D'Antoni?
well, I can say that confidence will do wonders for a player. And Mike D'Antoni's system it'll already like boost your numbers, but when you have the ball in your hands and he's feeding you his information that he has from an offensive genius standpoint, and you have a talent like James Harden, that's what you get. You start to get
Mm-hmm.
that, and then everybody that comes after him just gets better. You know what I mean? Like again, like you mentioned, Luca. The shit that Luca is doing is shit that James was doing, but Luca has turned it into he moves at his own pace, and you cannot fuck with him. So like to be able to see somebody just have supreme confidence and able to use their creativity in their own way was nothing short of like amazing. Every night was something different he was doing. And James is gonna make it fun. You know, just watching him play, he's gonna make it fun. He's a showman as well as a basketball player. So it was a unbelievable time to be a Houston Rocket.
I think there's probably maybe three games in your 4 years with the Rockets that might define it. Obviously, 2015, you got the Josh Smith explosion against the Clippers, where you guys make the conference finals. 2017, that game five against the Spurs, I think is one of the forgotten, like crazy playoff games that we've had in like the last 10 minutes or the last 10 years. Sorry. Danny Green, Mills is making plays, Harden's making plays. How good was that 17 Spurs team? They had Powell and LaMarcus Aldridge, your former teammate Powell. Kawhi's doing his thing, and you still have the old Spurs infrastructure in there. What do you remember from that Game 5 in that series in general?
Kawhi was fucking a load. Like he's just. That's what I remember the most. Kawhi just doing this thing every game, and then I remember the block, and I think Game 6 at the house they beat us, right? The only thing I remember after that was we lost on the block, and then Game 6, I think we got blown out by 20 or whatever it was, and then James gets 200 million the next year. That's what the fuck I remember. I don't remember nothing else other than that.
That's about how it went.
Yeah. So like, you know, I don't know. It was weird because although he deserved to get his pay, you know, like the way it happened and how it looked, it just it was just a strange thing. Man, I don't never talk on like people getting anything they deserve. You know, I want everybody to get everything and more that they deserve. I just felt like when you deem or when you like dub somebody like a winner or the leader, the example has to be set a little bit better in that situation. And it's not just the player's fault. You know what I mean? A lot of that goes on to, you know, the organization and how they run their shit. So
That's very well said.
that's what I remember.
Yeah.
And then obviously 18 the last year, the Game 6. Crazy to rewatch that because you guys were up by like 16. And the basketball gods, I don't know what they did to CP, but that hamstring pop, that was your guy from back in the Hornets. He was killing. You guys looked like you were on your way to beating what some people consider one of the best teams of all time. But that 4-year run in Houston, I think, can be kind of boiled down to, or obviously not all boiled down, but there were specific games where if they flipped, you know, basketball history as we know it could have changed, and maybe H-Town gets a title and you get number 2.
Hey,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
man. That would have been what you say? Big dog?
I just had a flashback. Was that the time of the legendary Trevor Ariza State Farm commercial?
Yeah. Yeah, that was during that time for sure.
Yeah, hey, TA got one of the best one of the goated State Farm commercials of all time. Man, I just had a flashback right there when I heard your prayer. My bad, TA. I don't mean to cut
It's
you
all
off.
good. Nah, man, that was it. That again, if those things happen for us the way that they should have happened, yes, 2018 we get another title. 2015 was that with the Spurs or 17?
17 and 18,
17
yeah.
with the Spurs. You know, we advance and we have a chance of, you know, playing again. But the way that it was supposed to go, it went. You know, like have you ever heard of a team going over 27?
Definitely
No.
not, especially that team with the shooters that you had too.
No.
And I think we were number one in offense that year. So for
For sure.
that shit to happen, man, it was. I mean, nobody could have written it any other way. Shit just happened that way, and it's crazy that you bring that up because I told this story like on my little Instagram yesterday. I'm leaving a graduation party, right? And you know, people are drunk, people are having a time. So some friends are getting into it with each other. You know, they doing like some chest bumping and shit. And they end up fighting, right? So in the middle of these guys fighting, he sees me. He makes eye contact with me. He stops his fight. He's like, hold up, hold on. He's telling this boy, hold up, bro. Let me talk to Trevor Ariza right quick. He says, what happened in 2018? Why did y'all lose? Why James Harden ain't got no championship? I'm like, bro, in the middle of you getting your ass whooped, you worried about why we lost there? You should be focused on not getting your ass whooped right now.
Hey,
Did he get his
maybe
ass
you
beat?
saved it.
Oh no, he was getting his ass wore out for sure.
Oh well, that's what you saved him, Ta. You saved him for You saved him for possibly even getting worn out even more.
For
Shit.
real. But nah, man, I don't, like playing in those games or experiencing what we experienced, even though we lost, it taught us lessons, man. It's just the lessons that we learned was if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. There's nothing that you can do. But if you go out there and you leave it all on the line, you've done all you can do. So the chips fall wherever they may.
My last question for you is just 18 years. Like you saw so many different brands of basketball. What's like the one or two characteristics that a team needs to have to win a championship, regardless of how they play or who they have?
Uh, what I believe a team needs is a really strong, mentally strong leader, and they also need a physical, tough presence on the court. Because if you have those things, you'll be able to, muster through anything. Again, having an 82 season, having 82 games in a season, you're going to be beat up, you're going to be bruised. All teams are going to go through injury. Um, but when you have that leader that's going to continue to push you, and then you have that physical, tough presence that just gives the players or the superstars that freedom to go out and be whoever they are, especially if they know they have a guy who's a tough guy on their team that's gonna be there and kind of like, you know, protect any type of bullshit that might happen in the
Hmm.
game. So
Just let
when
him
you
play
have those
basketball.
two things and you have talent, I think that helps boost your team's morale.
My last question. Yeah, 18 years. Like I said, we've been the glue to a lot of generations, different styles of basketball, different styles of NBA players. You've seen it, played over 1,000 games. What's one thing that you found out about yourself now? Like I heard you mention a few things, during this hour or so. But what's one thing you realize about yourself now that you retired that might have led to the reason you played for 18 years, went through all type of different locker rooms, different styles of play? Has there been anything since you stopped playing that you realize, that's how I did that? For anybody, for a younger player who might want to play 18 years TA, you know what I mean? What even gave you a chance? See, we said listening. I know listening was one, but is there anything else that really gave you a good chance to play within these 18 years? Maybe it was a person. You know what I mean? What was it now that you sat down,
Yeah,
you got a little time to reflect. What
yeah.
was it that you think would let made
And
you
this might
play
be an
20 years?
oxymoron, but I don't think it is. Uh, Being able to swallow your pride, but keep your ego intact.
Die.
Yeah, I think that's like that is what had allowed me to be able to play for so long. Because it's going to be some shit that tests you in this game, as in life. Everything is going to test you. So like being the bigger person a lot of the times, or being the voice of reason and understanding, you have to be able to do that, but also holding your ground and understanding when to fold your cards and when to just keep them and hold them with the poker face.
So you're
Bars.
saying, so I understand. So like, keep your ego in check and like carry yourself to a high standard,
Hmm.
like standpoint.
Yeah, because there's no ego, you won't do the work. You won't go to the gym at 2:30 in the morning. You won't
Exactly.
take extra good care of yourself. When you're going through a journey like TA or you're in and out of locker rooms, you'll forget who the fuck you was in the first place. You'll be
Absolutely.
listening to this person, listening to that, trying to make the team, trying to fit into the cliques in the team, the socio shit of the team, and the different people, the go outers, the not go outers, the church guys, the family
Yep.
guys, whatever that is.
Hmm.
That's what I take of it by keeping ego, because that was
Yep.
one of the things that I struggled with. moving in and out of locker rooms because spent my first 3 years for one team. I thought I was good, and that's how it goes. I probably go to another team, play for 3 years, but it went year to year to year. But that was one of the things I struggled with is you lose yourself sometimes doing
No,
this
for
shit.
sure. You definitely can lose yourself
Yeah.
moving and then hearing what motherfuckers got to say. So that's what the swallowing your pride is about, but keeping your ego intact. Even though you're moving around place to place, you're moving to these places for a reason, right? These people want you for a reason because they could have gone with the two-way guy, or they could have picked bruh who's been a free agent, who's a little bit younger than you, probably do the same thing, but they didn't. They chose you, and so that means you still are who you are. It's just the jersey look different. My boy Josh Smith, like you mentioned him earlier, he had this one saying where he said, all right, now you got to put your pride on your back pocket and your wallet in the front. Sit on your pride, player, and keep your wallet in your front pocket. He said that one time. He said that to somebody on our team, and I never forgot that. And that made so much sense to me when he said it.
We had
It
Josh on
always,
here.
yeah, he's a forgotten seed. It always be the little bars like that you hear that just like what he say? I don't even know what that means yet, but I'm rolling whatever he just said. Yeah, that's dope. Shout
Hey,
out Josh.
D West said the same thing. David West. He said that if
Hmm.
he were to go back, he would have probably what do you say? He would have known his worth a little bit more, or talked his shit a little bit more because he was a quiet dude. But if he were to
Very
go back,
quiet.
he felt like if he kind of talked his shit more, he could have had more accolades. But
We all feel like that. Because I never made an all defensive team, but my whole career I'm guarding the best guys and their shooting percentages, or anytime I felt like I sat in front of them, it wasn't a lot of times where they shot like 70% or 60%.
no,
No.
They usually shoot a lower percentage, and I never made an all defensive team at all. So I felt like if I was more vocal or if I talked more shit about it, that they probably would have paid attention to it more.
but people are quick to hate. You play that wrong, then you get the arrogant and the cocky car. But at the same
Mhm.
time, fuck what they think.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been fuck what they think, because I know, like, when I line up against somebody or they see me, they know it's not going to be no easy win. But again, like, I am who I am. I never really gave a fuck about individual accolades or anything, as long as the wins worked and the purse is right. I feel like I did a good job.
Amen.
Well, TA man, really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch you on the screen a lot more often going forward.
Yes, sir. I'm around.
What's
All right.
best? Appreciate you,
See ya.
Tia.
All right. See you in a minute.